Short week to get ready for that triple option of Air Force is never easy. Reagan Tubbs set to kick off. Matthew DePore, their starting kicker, is sick, so he did not make the trip, stayed back in Colorado Springs. Isaac Jernigan is back deep for the Spartans. And he's content to let that one sail into the end zone as we take a look at your starting lineups. On offense, the Spartans offensive line doing some work, trying to get a little more push than they have lately. Fernando Carmona Jr. anchors the left side of that line. A lot of talented guys, especially out there at wide receiver.
Yeah, they've had some really good production. Nick Nash, the converted quarterback, has made some spectacular plays downfield.
And here is Chevin Cordero from the famed St. Louis High School in Honolulu, Hawaii. Working with four wide receivers, Quali Conley in the backfield. Swinging it out to Conley, cutting it back inside, and then he is met right at the line of scrimmage by a slew of Falcons, including Jaden Goodwin. And look at the numbers for Cordero. I mean, he's absolutely stellar. He is climbing the ranks, 114 yards away from passing Andy Dalton for 5th on the all-time list in the Mountain West Conference.
And he has matured by leaps and bounds, coming from Hawaii and working in this Brent Brennan, Kevin McGiven offense.
Quali in motion out of the backfield. Cordero set to pass, looking to the middle, pass complete. And that looks to be a first down. That is Nick Nash, who came in second in the Midwest Conference with 20 receptions, make that 21. Taking a look at the Air Force defense, they have some guys who will absolutely wreck shop. PJ Ramsey from his defensive end position gets after it. Richter and Youngblood Mock, a stellar linebacking crew. And then Jaden Goodwin, Trey Taylor manning the safety spots in the middle of that defense. Kyrie Robinson checking into the game on first down now for San Jose State. Robinson up the middle for a gain of 2, maybe 3.
He's a very good back that they need to keep healthy. Kyrie Robinson, a muscular guy, not big, 5'7", but 195 pounds. He's dense, out of the legendary Concord de La Salle High School football program. Also, the Spartans.
Came in averaging 5.2 yards per carry. And the Spartans looking at 2nd and 8 here. Cordero rolling to his left, setting and firing, completion number 2. This one on the near sideline to Malachi Miller.
And you just see the decisive nature of Chevin Cordero, able to step into this throw, kind of a half roll, turns his shoulders, and he had 2 options out there. Gets it to the guy who's a little further, Malachi Miller, the junior out of Oakland.
Right at the sticks, Miller picks up the first down. Bunch formation to the bottom of your screen. The tight end Mazzotti in motion. And dragged out of bounds is Bates. And that is a gain of about 2.
Pretty good start for San Jose State. Just kind of getting Cordero comfortable, moving around a little bit in the pocket, rolling him out, and heavy running backs, whether they're catching the ball or running it out of the backfield.
2nd and 6 for the Spartans. Robinson up the middle, breaks a tackle, crosses the 45 before he's wrapped up by Jaden Goodwin.
You see that defensive line for Air Force. They are not as big as what the Spartans have to offer, and right now they're getting a little bit of push. You see big Anthony Pardue, the center, moving around, creating the hole, and then Robinson kind of finding his way, shuffling in there, good enough for a first down.
8-yard gain by Robinson, 3 first downs on 6 plays for the Spartans. Cordero on play action, down the middle of the field, has a man wide open. It's the tight end, Dominic Mazzotti, dragging tacklers down to a 33-yard gain from Mazzotti.
Mazzani can really stretch the field, and really good protection here by the Spartans O-line. The Air Force brings 5, but plenty of time for Cordero to fit that down the field to his long tight end, 6'4", 250. Nice play, the 8th reception of the year for Mazzani.
Cordero 5 for 5 for 55 yards on this, the first drive of the game. Looking at 1st and goal here. Cordero going to keep it himself and in for the touchdowns. Spartans up early at home.
Just a beautiful drive by the Spartans. They're running the football, some short passing. Cordero moving around a little bit in the pocket. And then the zone read look. Everybody sells out for Kyrie Robinson. Gets a little bit of a block on the edge there, and waltzes into the end zone in this new stadium at San Jose State. A good feeling coming off that loss in Ohio last week.
Kyler Halverson, no good, misses the extra point. So it is 6-0 here early. San Jose State on top, courtesy of Chevin Cordero. 6 tonight. Dane Kinman is deep, and Terrence Scheid set to kick off after San Jose State calls the first touchdown of the game. Fair catch called for at the 6-yard line as we get our first look at this Air Force offense leading the nation in rushing at 320 yards per game. Maybe a little undersized, but I don't know if anybody comes tougher than this crew. A lot of great leaders up front, an offensive line that is used to run blocking, and then they have 3 or 4 different guys they'll get the ball in their hands. Check out Owen Burke, one of the running backs who did some serious damage last week. John Lee Eldridge in the backfield alongside Burke. And the pitch outside to John Lee Eldridge, the third, making a couple of guys miss and picking up the first down after a gain of 14.
That's the third option on the triple option. Right downhill is the handoff to Michelle. That's a fake. Larrier doesn't take it. Runs it beautifully. Stops when the end commits to him and pitches it out to Eldridge. And there's a lot of room on the perimeter.
This time the pitch to John Lee Eldridge. Out past the 40 to the 38-yard line. Zach Larrier, the senior from Youngstown, Ohio, second on the team with 220 rushing yards. He's the straw that stirs the drink here. And listen, he doesn't throw the ball a lot. Only 10 passes this season, but they have been very effective. And how about this? Been a long time since they trailed. November of last year. Larrier on the option, keeps it himself. And picks up about 5. Trey Jenkins on the stop.
One thing that really impresses me about the way they run this offense, and you see Jenkins recovering a little bit there, is no matter what you do, once you turn your pads to the line of scrimmage, these guys get positive yards. Whether it's the dive play, whether it's the pitch man, or the quarterback there. Larrier just took what he could get, 3rd and short.
Michelle, the lone back. And he gets it on 3rd and 1. Michelle picks up the first down for Air Force. And we mentioned the schedule. This defense is battle-tested. Trey Smith, very valuable up front. Parham, Pollard, Latu all making plays in the back end of that defense, led by Trey Jenkins and Chase Williams.
They have an identity because they've had the same coordinator, Derek Odom, and they do a good job kind of understanding who they are and playing around that offense.
Eldridge, the third, spinning and breaking one tackle before Tanielo Latu makes the stop, bringing up 2nd down.
Yeah, Latu doing a great job. They was out last week, back this week on the edge there, and these guys are going to need to be very sound in their assignments and not try to do too much against this rapid-fire run game of the Falcons.
2nd and 6 coming up for the Falcons. Here's Michelle taking the toss. Going to be about 3 yards shy of the first down. Third down coming up. Matthew Tago on the stop from his linebacker position.
What a convoy they get out there. When they pitch it out there, there might have been 5 or 6 offensive linemen and blockers for Michelle to kind of pick his way through. Just the amount of run plays they can get into from the various formations is just so impressive in the way they fire out. But another 3rd and short and an opportunity for the Spartans here.
This time running the option. Here's Larrier, fakes the toss, keeps it himself. Trey Smith on the tackle, but not before. Larrier picks up the first down.
And didn't get up with the ball, which is always kind of frightening. He freezes everybody with the fake there. Yeah, they're saying no fumble there. He might have been laying on somebody and they took the ball away from him, but
yeah, it looked like it happened when he was on the ground.
Yeah, knees down, and even if they weren't forward progress, probably stopped. They wouldn't give it to him. But if they are grabbing at the ball, it's something to look at for later in the game. But really well executed by Larrier. And that's what impresses me about this guy. He really has not had a lot of experience, but he's got a great handle on this offense.
Michelle, the deep back once again. The reigning Mountain West Conference Offensive Player of the Week after a 100-yard 3-touchdown game last week against Utah State. And here is Michelle plowing his way ahead. Does such a good job of running behind his pads, just as all these Air Force fullbacks do.
Yeah, I mean, they're replacing one of the most prolific runners in the history of the Mountain West, let alone Air Force football, in Brad Roberts. And he was the leading rusher in the nation last year and all of those things. And they've done a good job. Michelle and Owen Burke have really kind of stepped up into that role. And that dive play is just as effective, it seems, early in this season as it was when Roberts was running.
Roberts over 1,700 rushing yards last year.
My hero.
Offensive Player of the Year in the conference. The pitch outside to Aiden Calvert, has a little room before he's wrangled out of bounds at the 20.
They've been gashed, and didn't we talk to Derek Odom about this, the perimeter and holding the perimeter, and they have had a little bit of trouble doing that. A couple of big plays out on the edge, one from John Lee Eldridge. That one is Calvert, one to the right, one to the left, and Air Force really threatening now and running clock, keeping that San Jose State offense on the sideline.
1st and 10, Dylan Carson in the backfield. Play clock winding down here. They get it off, and here is Carson putting his head down and forging ahead, picked up about 2. The Falcons have had 17 different players carry the ball in the first 3 games.
Yeah, they distribute the ball in that way. And if you're here and you play a skill position, even if it is a wide receiver type of position, you're going to have to be able to carry the ball inside and outside. And Coach Calhoun and the way they run this offense, everybody thought they weren't going to be able to do what they do with the cut block rules, and they just took it in stride.
Larry working out of the shotgun, and he is taken down in the backfield. That is Soane To'ea with the tackle for a loss.
To'ea just comes in and gets to the legs of Larrier and trying to run a little bit of a quarterback draw, and that's the only thing that can really hurt the Air Force offense. They cannot afford to give up negative yards. A 3rd and 8 is not where they want to be. A lot of offenses can erase that. Not easy for this one. We'll see if they try to hit the perimeter again or a rare drop back throw.
3rd and 8 coming up from the 18. Here's Larrier. Fakes the pitch, keeps it himself, gets down to about the 14-yard line. So 4th down coming up.
Yeah, they tried to catch him off guard by running to the short side and take that option to the boundary, and Larrier makes a cut on a dime and started to storm up the field. I thought he was going to break a couple tackles and get that first down, but a good job bowing your neck if you're the San Jose State Spartans defense, forcing this field goal. But I think Air Force proved their point about the run game and how they want to eat clock in this one.
So here comes Reagan Tubbs. He has yet to attempt a field goal in his career. So here's his first from 31 yards out, and it is Perfect. That's the way you want to get started with your first field goal attempt. So Air Force on the board here on the road at San Jose State, courtesy of the sophomore from Flower Mound High School in Texas. 6 tonight. Dane Kinman is deep, and Terrence Shive set to kick off after San Jose State calls the first touchdown of the game. Fair catch called for at the 6-yard line as we get our first look at this Air Force offense leading the nation in rushing at 320 yards per game. Maybe a little undersized, but I don't know if anybody comes tougher than this crew. A lot of great leaders up front, an offensive line that is used to run blocking, and then they have 3 or 4 different guys they'll get the ball in their hands. Check out Owen Burke, one of the running backs who did some serious damage last week. John Lee Eldridge in the backfield alongside Burke. And the pitch outside to John Lee Eldridge, the third, making a couple of guys miss and picking up the first down after a gain of 14.
That's the third option on the triple option. Right downhill is the handoff to Michelle. That's a fake. Larrier doesn't take it. Runs it beautifully. Stops when the end commits to him and pitches it out to Eldridge. And there's a lot of room on the perimeter.
This time the pitch to John Lee Eldridge out past the 40 to the 38-yard line. Zach Larrier, the senior from Youngstown, Ohio, second on the team with 220 rushing yards. He's the straw that stirs the drink here. And listen, he doesn't throw the ball a lot. Only 10 passes this season, but they have been very effective. And how about this? Been a long time since they trailed. November of last year. Larrier on the option, keeps it himself. And picks up about 5. Trey Jenkins on the stop.
One thing that really impresses me about the way they run this offense, and you see Jenkins recovering a little bit there, is no matter what you do, once you turn your pads to the line of scrimmage, these guys get positive yards. Whether it's the dive play, whether it's the pitch man, or the quarterback there. Larrier just took what he could get, 3rd and short.
Michelle, the lone back. And he gets it on 3rd and 1. Michelle picks up the first down for Air Force. And we mentioned the schedule. This defense is battle-tested. Trey Smith, very valuable up front. Parham, Pollard, Latu all making plays in the back end of that defense, led by Trey Jenkins and Chase Williams.
They have an identity because they've had the same coordinator, Derek Odom, and they do a good job kind of understanding who they are and playing around that offense.
Eldridge, the third, spinning and breaking 1 tackle before Tanyelo Latu makes the stop, bringing up 2nd down.
Yeah, Latu doing a great job. They was out last week, back this week on the edge there, and these guys are going to need to be very sound in their assignments and not try to do too much against this rapid-fire run game of the Falcons.
2nd and 6 coming up for the Falcons. Here's Michelle taking the toss. Going to be about 3 yards shy of the first down. 3rd down coming up. Matthew Tago on the stop from his linebacker position.
What a convoy they get out there. When they pitch it out there, there might have been 5 or 6 offensive linemen and blockers for Michelle to kind of pick his way through. Just the amount of run plays they can get into from the various formations is just so impressive in the way they fire out. But another 3rd and short and an opportunity for the Spartans here.
This time running the option. Here's Larrier, fakes the toss, keeps it himself. Trey Smith on the tackle, but not before. Larrier picks up the first down.
It didn't get up with the ball, which is always kind of frightening. He freezes everybody with the fake there. Yeah, they're saying no fumble there. He might have been laying on somebody and they took the ball away from him, but
Yeah, it looked like it happened when he was on the ground. Peter.
Yeah, knees down, and even if they weren't forward progress, probably stopped. They wouldn't give it to him. But if they are grabbing at the ball, it's something to look at for later in the game. But really well executed by Larrier. And that's what impresses me about this guy. He really has not had a lot of experience, but he's got a great handle on this offense.
Michel, the deep back once again. The reigning Mountain West Conference Offensive Player of the Week after a 100-yard, 3-touchdown game last week against Utah State. And here is Michel plowing his way ahead. Does such a good job of running behind his pads, just as all these Air Force fullbacks do.
Yeah, I mean, they're replacing one of the most prolific runners in the history of the Mountain West, let alone Air Force football, and Brad Roberts. And he was the leading rusher in the nation last year and all of those things. And they've done a good job. Michel and Owen Burke have really kind of stepped up into that role. And that dive play is just as effective, it seems, early in this season as it was when Roberts was running.
Roberts over 1,700 rushing yards last year.
Hero.
Offensive Player of the Year in the conference. The pitch outside to Aiden Calvert has a little room before he's wrangled out of bounds at the 20.
They've been gashed, and didn't we talk to Derek Odom about this, the perimeter and holding the perimeter, and they have had a little bit of trouble doing that. A couple of big plays out on the edge, one from John Lee Eldridge. That one is Calvert, one to the right, one to the left, and Air Force really threatening now and running clock, keeping that San Jose State offense on the sideline.
1st and 10, Dylan Carson in the backfield. Play clock winding down here. They get it off, and here is Carson putting his head down and forging ahead, picked up about 2. The Falcons have had 17 different players carry the ball in the first 3 games.
Yeah, they distribute the ball in that way. And if you're here and you play a skill position, even if it is a wide receiver type of position, you're going to have to be able to carry the ball inside and outside. And Coach Calhoun and the way they run this offense, everybody thought they weren't going to be able to do what they do with the cut block rules, and they just took it in stride.
Larry working out of the shotgun, and he is taken down in the backfield. That is Soane To'ea with the tackle for a loss.
To'ea just comes in and gets to the legs of Larrier and trying to run a little bit of a quarterback draw, and that's the only thing that can really hurt the Air Force offense. They cannot afford to give up negative yards. A 3rd and 8 is not where they want to be. A lot of offenses can erase that. Not easy for this one. We'll see if they try to hit the perimeter again or a rare drop back throw.
3rd and 8 coming up from the 18. Here's Larrier. Fakes the pitch, keeps it himself, gets down to about the 14-yard line. So 4th down coming up.
Yeah, they tried to catch him off guard by running to the short side and take that option to the boundary, and Larrier makes a cut on a dime and started to storm up the field. I thought he was going to break a couple tackles and get that 1st down, but a good job bowing your neck if you're the San Jose State Spartans defense, forcing this field goal. But I think Air Force proved their point about the run game and how they want to eat clock in this one.
So here comes Reagan Tubbs. He has yet to attempt a field goal in his career. So here's his first from 31 yards out, and it is perfect. That's the way you want to get started with your first field goal attempt. So Air Force on the board here on the road at San Jose State, courtesy of the sophomore from Flower Mound High School in Texas. Air Force scoring drive, 13 plays, 62 yards, ate up 7:41 of clock, and then Reagan Tubbs, the sophomore from Flower Mound, Texas, with his first career field goal.
Probably would have ended up in a touchdown, and we'd have a tie game or down 1 for San Jose if Latu had not had that sack on the quarterback draw.
And here's Isaac Jernigan, catches it at the 10, returns it. Nice return by Jernigan. A little scuffle there off the tackle, a 20-yard return by Jernigan. And when we come back, Chevin Cordero and this San Jose State offense getting back to work. 1 drive, 1 touchdown so far. The Spartans get on the board first. That was very important to them, given the fact that Air Force can just chew up clock. Chevin Cordero, perfect on the first drive. 5 of 5, hits his tight end Dominic Mazzotti for a big gain, and keeps it himself here and scores from 10 yards out. They couldn't have asked for a better first drive. Could have taken the extra point along with the touchdown, but hey, a 6-3 lead here early. I'm sure they'll go with it. Empty backfield for Cordero here, thrown out of the shotgun, complete over the middle. And that is Mazzotti again.
Yeah, they're having a hard time getting to him with 4 or 5, and he's very comfortable back there throwing the ball and getting it to the big tight end out of Pleasanton, who had the big long catch, 33 yards on the last drive we just saw, Dominic Mazzotti.
2nd and 3 coming up. Oh, fakes it to Robinson. Thinks he's going to run it himself, and then finds Charles Ross. Like the way that play was drawn up. Jamari Bellamy maybe hit him a little bit late there.
Yeah, looked like it. That was the flag there. Got to Ross's legs when he was on the white already. Great RPO and really patiently developed by Chevin Cordero. He really stuck in there with the mesh on the handoff and then sold the run play, sucked the whole defense over before he delivered it out to the perimeter. And that's what you get with Kevin McGivern and this play calling for this offense. Look at how patient he is. Really works that, stares at the end, and then sucks in Jaden Goodwin and makes the play. And then you see the penalty there at the very end with Jamari Bellamy.
Ineligible player downfield. Oh. Offense, number 74. 5-yard penalty. And remain second down.
Now see, we thought it was a late hit, but it's an ineligible player downfield because of how patient Chevin Cordero was. So you're going to see it here. .54. Yeah, they just kind of all drove over to the other side and got caught in no man's land just because the play took that long to develop. That's not easy. They got the center, Anthony Purdue.
Maybe Cordero sold a little too well. Penalty sets up 2nd and 8. Cordero over the middle.
It looked like he fumbled.
I thought he dropped it for a moment and then it bounced right back into his hands. That was Skylar Loving Black.
Yeah, he did fumble that ball, and it was a completed ball that he fumbled. He was getting tackled by Alec Mock. And you see Mock there. Yeah, that's a completed pass and a football move toward the front of the hash mark there, and goes down and kind of has to scramble to get the ball. 3rd down and 5 for San Jose State. Tough penalty.
Robinson in motion. Pressure coming at Cordero. Has to keep it himself.
Cordero keeps.
Shoved out of bounds by Trey Taylor, and I think he lost a yard on that one, P.
Well, that's going to bring on 4th down, and it's really because of the ineligible man downfield penalty on what was a well-executed play, but just took a little bit too long to develop, and a couple guys got caught out there in no man's land, especially the center. And now getting ahead early and staying ahead of this run game, not as easy to do.
Alex Weir's punt.
Oof.
Lands outside the 35-yard line. Not ideal. Air Force getting the ball back after a 30-yard punt. 48 seconds to go in the first quarter. We're back after this. Brennan, this is defense on the field. They watch the Air Force offense march down the field. A 13-play drive, all runs, that ended in a field goal. Emmanuel Michel, the deep back, and gets this one, breaks a couple of tackles and runs over just about everybody. Trey Jenkins got the worst of that one. 1st down, Air Force.
I mean, this play doesn't look like it's going anywhere, and here comes Michel in your chest. He gets caught up with the O-line and then right into the chest of Trey Jenkins, the leader of the secondary for the Spartans D, and a big 1st down on an inside run. That's the most they've gotten on the inside. so far. And look at this. This is just their second possession, and first quarter is almost over.
Ball just inside the 50-yard line. There you're keeping it. Almost picks up the first down. He is finally tripped up by Jordan Pollard after a gain of 9 as the first quarter comes to an end. An entirely different game for Air Force this week when they jumped out to a 29-0 lead. It's a tight one here in San Jose. Back to San Jose, Spartans on top by 3 as we get set to start the second quarter here. Air Force is on the move. They ran 14 plays, picked up 85 yards, and ate up 8.5 minutes of clock. And they did it all without their leading rusher, Owen Burke, who has yet to have a carry. Manuel
he's
Michel
on the sideline, but they're working with Michel right now.
And Michel's doing just fine. Picks up another 4 to 5 yards right here. Last week, Petros, when Michel had 28 carries for 106 yards and 3 touchdowns, didn't have a run of more than 10 yards. Tonight already has a run of 15, but there's a look at Burke, who has yet to see the field.
Yeah, his uniform's still pretty clean, and between those two guys going into this game, about 80 carries, and that's the Brad Roberts position. I would say it's in good hands, even though we've yet to see Burke.
Here's Michel again, upended. There's a flag down. He's right at the 30-yard line.
Good lead block with Kinnaman and Jordan Pollard involved. Not sure what the flag was.
Holding. Offense, number 23.
There it is.
Taking a penalty. Remain second down.
Maybe too good of a lead block by Kinnaman on Jordan Pollard.
I'm going to have to get a little background on our head referee, Christian Watson, because he is a big fella.
He's been that way for a long time. Too swole is what they say.
Super swole.
Yeah, he's broken a lot of things. And 23 is Kinnaman right there, and he gets run over and just kind of grabs on as he's going down to Pollard. It looked like a big collision, but he grabbed on the way down.
Calhoun was not happy with the call. Keeping it on the ground here to Michel. Michel inside the 40-yard line, going to be about 2 yards shy of the original line of scrimmage.
Well, we saw a negative play force a punt for San Jose. We saw a negative play force a field goal earlier for Air Force, and the negative play with a penalty there makes it a lot harder. 2nd down and 12 for Air Force. 1st and 18 is not undoable for them, but they got to get, 7-8 yards a pop.
And remember, Air Force has yet to throw a pass here as we are a minute and a half into the second quarter. Here's Michel again up the middle. And 3rd down coming up. All runs so far for Air Force, but you know what that means, Petros? When they do actually throw the ball, nobody's expecting it, so they have been very efficient this year. And here's a look at the pass attempts per game, just 3 per game this year, their lowest in the last 5.
You just don't expect it. This is a big 3rd and 6, though. What do they have dialed up?
Larrier drops back, keeps it himself. Quarterback draw out to the 30-yard line, and 4th down's coming up.
The 2nd time they tried that, and it's just not working because San Jose State's not buying it. They're right up around the line of scrimmage. He ran right into Jordan Pollard and Trey Smith, who made that play. But 4th and 3, relatively manageable for them, and they're going.
First throw of the game, complete. And that should be good for the 1st down. Dane Kinnaman hauls it in after a 7-yard gain.
And that's a little bit what we talked about. Here they line up 3 yards. You don't expect them to throw it. You expect Michel to get the ball and try to step through. Instead, he does a great job picking up the blitz And Larrier, who just looks very comfortable back there when he throws the ball, even though it doesn't happen very much, delivers it to Kinnaman, who had that holding penalty a little bit earlier. There's Mike Thiessen, the OC, dialing up a beautiful third down throw.
And again, the handoff right up the middle to Michel. Dragging guys with him. He has been uber effective thus far, coming up on 50 yards in the game.
And then they're right back to creating a situation for them where they're ahead of the sticks. 7 yards. Now it's 2nd and 3. They can do a lot of things with their option and get Larrier on the outside, get Michel on the inside. 28 attempts already last week. This guy's carrying a heavy load.
And here he is again, has some room inside the 10. Michel, touchdown Falcons. A 17-yard touchdown run from Emmanuel Michel. He now has 4 touchdowns in the last 2 games.
And a really high tackle. I mean, he got bounced on his head in the end zone, but I'm just really impressed with his feet through the contact zone. Look at him picking up his feet. All those guys on the ground. Maybe a little bit of a grab there from Mason Carlin that he got away with, but a really dominant drive by Air Force. They were able to overcome the holding penalty. As we see, is that Sowani Toya who's down?
I believe it is the nose guard from Tonga. And this is something new and different for Air Force this season. They have really rolled through everybody. The level of competition, not the same as San Jose State. They opened up with Robert Morris, big win there. Took on Sam Houston, and then Utah State, who's gone through some changes at quarterback. Is
still a good Utah State team, though, and well coached. And they really jumped out on the Aggies
early.
And it might have surprised Coach Calhoun a little bit now that they are in conference play. He knows this is a really young team, and their youth has been tested, I guess, this year, and it will be tested in this game against a conference opponent on the road. But I'll tell you, Air Force looks pretty darn confident to me, Dan.
Here's Reagan Tubbs attempting the 2nd field goal of the game and the 2nd of his career. And the sophomore is 2 for 2 on the night as he hits the extra point. Falcons rolling.
A lot of things by moving people around, but here they just match up. A great block by Bryant here, and then a block here, and the double team here. And watch Michel just kind of step through. Really well done holding blocks on the perimeter against Matthew Tongo. And that leads to a pretty quick Air Force score, especially compared with the last drive. And this drive bridged the quarter. So they are really dominating this game. San Jose State's got to find a way, Dan, to get that offense going, because after a while, your defense gets pretty tired of tackling those guys.
Reagan Tubbs with the short kick, fielded at the 10-yard line by Jernigan. He's out to the 25-yard line. That last drive, and it's funny, it did feel short, still ate up 5 minutes of clock for Air Force as they have racked up 136 rushing yards on the ground.
And they really have San Jose State defensively on their heels.
And we do have a flag on the return, as we'll wait for Christian Watson to inform us what the call is.
After the play, personal foul, made hit, kicking team, number 96. That 50-yard penalty will be added to the return. First down.
That helps out the Spartans a great deal.
Here's another look.
And
the tripping.
Oh, no, it was behind there. It's the kicker.
It's Tubbs.
It's Tubbs. He slapped the dude in the head.
Well, he kind of tripped him initially.
He knocked the guy down, and then he slapped him in the head.
They have to take another look at that. Cordero on play action. And again, his favorite target tonight is big tight end Dominic Mazzotti.
Yeah, they've hurt themselves a little bit on a couple drives, but getting the ball early on first down to the tight end has made some manageable second downs for them. They want to stay ahead in this game. They do not want to get behind that Air Force rush attack and have Cordero watching on the sideline while they get 3 yards a pop.
2nd and 4 here for Cordero, who remains perfect. 8 for 8 so far. Keeping it on the ground here to Bates. Bates breaks a tackle. Crosses the 50 before Trey Taylor drags him down.
Very delayed handoff there to Bates. I mean, look at him holding that out there really deliberately, and that allows time for the San Jose State offensive line to get on their blocks, and they kind of found Alec Mock out there in no man's land. Bates ran by him and broke a tackle.
Fresh set of downs from the 47. Cordero flushed out to his right. What a throw and what a catch on the sideline by Nick Nash, his 2nd catch of the game.
Yeah, I'm not sure which display of athleticism on either side of that play is more impressive. This is just what Cordero does. Play action and starts to create, sprints out there, makes a quick decision, gets the ball to Nash, who shows great body control, making the catch on the sideline. A spark is occurring here within the Spartans offense. They're starting to feel it.
Oh, a little reverse, thinking about passing. And that's Nick Nash. Direct snap, flips it to Nash. And looked like he was at least giving it a thought to throw the ball.
Yeah, direct snap to Robinson when they move Cordero over. Maybe Cordero, who goes out for the pass there, of course, but it's not there. Pretty well defended by Air Force, staying at home, and Nick Nash does the right thing and eats it, doesn't throw a pick or anything downfield.
Robinson offset as the lone back. Cordero on 2nd and 10. Over the middle, shy of the first down. It's Mazzotti again. Picks up 8, sorry.
Good recovery on 2nd down for San Jose, because a lot of time, you call that crazy reverse pass play and everybody in the huddle gets excited and you think it's going to be a touchdown. It doesn't go. You're back in the huddle. You got to find something that's been working, and that's what Mazzotti has been thus far in the first half for Chevin Cordero, and he's been perfect, and the rushing team.
3rd and 2 from the 29. Kyrie Robinson with some room. Robinson inside the 10. Robinson doing some housework. A 29-yard touchdown run for the graduate student from Antioch, California, De La Salle High School.
We talked about how hard this guy is to tackle. Look at the move that he puts on around the line of scrimmage on C.J. Boyd. Just embarrasses him and then makes another inside move. Not bubbling outside, cutting it back against the grain. A strong run and a good-looking drive by the Spartans, taking control back of the game, and they're just going to take the PAT.
5th touchdown run of the season, as the extra point is good. 6 plays, 60 yards, and a 29-yard touchdown scamper from Kyrie Robinson. Had to run the ball against the #1 rush defense in the country, and when you can make moves like Kyrie Robinson did, you're going to do all right.
Well, you see what he sees, and he runs right by 2 defenders, inside and outside cuts, just really well executed, and a strong back that's not easy to take down. C.J. Boyd really with a handful of nothing there at the line of scrimmage.
Fair catch called for by Dane Kinnaman. Yeah, that was a pretty nasty jump cut there. from Robinson. Here comes Zach Larrier in this Falcons offense. We still have yet to see Owen Burke. No word on whether something is wrong with their leading rusher coming into the game, but certainly Emmanuel Michel has had a yeoman's effort thus far tonight.
Yeah, they're really leaning on Michel. We saw a little bit of Eldridge and Calvert on the edges, but it's been a heavy load from Emmanuel Michel, the senior from Georgia.
And here's Larrier keeping himself, but he is swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. A couple of guys there, including Javion Cole and Brian Parham.
And Derek Odom just tired of it. He mugged everybody up that time for the Spartans defense in the A-gaps, tired of being run over by Emmanuel Michel, and Larrier tries to press the perimeter to no avail. Great first down showing by San Jose. That's how you get off the field against these guys.
Looks like Larrier's changing the play at the line of scrimmage. And Michel is going absolutely nowhere. Tago and Lavolo. Here's another look.
Yeah, and Lavolo's a guy who had backed up Fajoko, one of the best players in San Jose State defense for a long time, Viliami Fajoko. And he very productive there, creating a 3rd and long situation for Air Force. It's going to be awful hard for them to stay on the field in this regard.
3 for 4 on 3rd down so far. Larrier going to keep it himself, has a little room, but not going to be nearly enough as he picks up about 6. Latu on the stop, 4th down coming up.
Tanila Latu makes another play and forces Air Force in a 3 and out, which is a huge moment for this San Jose State defense. And it was the first down that really set the tone. No gain on first down. It can only get 6 yards, and they have to punt it away to this very dynamic San Jose State offense.
Luke Freer with the punt, fielded by Harvey, makes one man miss, and he is taken down at the 36-yard line. A 35-yard punt, and the Spartans starting to feel it at home, where they play oh so well. 15-10. It's good times at FQ Stadium. Petros dancing in the booth right now.
Oh, feeling it in the 408. Look at them, they love it.
Spartans defense coming up with a big stop. The offense has been moving the ball, and Chevin Cordero, a perfect 10 for 10 thus far. They've been a very different team on the road between last year and this year. You see 7-1 since the start of last season. Cordero set to throw. All kinds of time on the left side, and it is caught by Charles Ross. Ross's first catch of the game goes for 17.
Beautiful, elaborate formation with the 3 wide receivers way out to the left and some very long developing routes. Cordero, with plenty of time, puts his body into that throw and perfectly delivered. We haven't had an incomplete pass in this game yet.
Fresh set of downs from the 48. Robinson with room. Robinson inside the 40. Robinson breaking loose. And finally taken down by Trey Taylor. He deserves to do a little dance after that run.
Yeah, he's feeling it right now. He has got a lot of wiggle in his body and a lot of strength to run through tackles. That time he doesn't have to do it. He just uses his speed and runs right through the contact zone without getting hit. Trey Taylor makes a touchdown-saving tackle.
After a 29-yard touchdown run, Robinson picks up 33 on that carry. And Quali Connolly gives Robinson a break. This time it's Cordero keeping himself, a little stiff arm to no avail. Gaylord makes the tackle, but there is a flag on the play.
Yeah, it looks like he got a hold of Cordero's face mask there. Just a little too aggressive on what otherwise would have been a really good play. He's a long corner, 6'4", 200 pounds, and his reaction to the straight arm is to grab Cordero's face mask, and a costly penalty.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 22. First down.
So Gaylord called for the penalty. And Cordero and the Spartans are going to have the ball on the 7-yard line. Look at the numbers there for Chevin Cordero. Perfect on the night, 11 of 11 for 107 yards. And San Jose State with just under 4.5 to go here in the first half, with a chance to punch it in and take a 10-point lead.
There's a few moments where San Jose State looked like Air Force was going to really hang on to the ball and take the air out, but they got that 3 and out, and now they're really cooking it home.
Keeping it on the ground here. All the way down to the 1-yard line is Conley.
Gaylord again coming in with a very aggressive tackle, but Conley kind of carried him a couple more yards. And right now, San Jose State really physically taking it to the Air Force defense, something you kind of would expect happening with the two other sides of the ball. Air Force offense really taking it to San Jose State's D, but physically right now, the Spartans are really pressing the issue.
Robinson back in the ball game alongside Cordero. Shoulder down into the end zone once again is Kyrie Robinson.
Just too much momentum created on this drive with Robinson running the ball. A little bit of Conley, but you're going to see Jonathan Youngblood, 44, trying to step up into the hole and just get buckled. No help either from C.J. Boyd because of the leverage and the height of Kyrie Robinson. He presses into the end zone.
Kyrie Robinson, all of 5'7". Hard to get that pad level low against a powerful little running back like him. Extra point is good to cap a 4-play, 64-yard drive. The Spartans feeling great at home, up by 10 with just under 3.5 to go here in the first half. Man, he always looks so good. 10-point ball game here at San Jose State. Feeling great right now. 4-play, 64-yard drive. Robinson in for his second touchdown of the game. And they're putting in some work on a very good Air Force defense. Dane Kinnaman going to let that one bounce through the end zone. Air Force has 3.5 minutes to get on the board here. And for the Falcons, the defense not used to this. They've held 10 straight opponents to 21 points or less.
Well, some of the youth and size differential and maybe speed biting Coach Calhoun's defense a little bit here on the road in conference, as Coach Brennan's team seems to have taken control of the football game. Right now, the Falcons need Larrier to stay in front of the sticks and keep the ball away from the Spartans.
Pitch outside to Eldridge III, hurdles a man, picks up the first down before he's taken out of bounds by Jordan Cobb.
Downfield blocking 10 yards beyond where the play ended with Mason Carlin. They've had some success when they run that pitch play, that kind of convoy to the edge. They've run it to the short side and the far side, and they move the stick.
Here's Michelle up the middle, picks up 4. It's a pretty good thunder and lightning combination with Michelle, and then you have Eldridge III on the outside.
And not to mention Larrier and his running ability. He's probably the fastest of the 3.
Now, you touched on it earlier. He's a 200-meter champ in the Mountain West Conference, the second fastest time recorded by an Air Force track athlete. I've yet to see him really show that off here. Here's Eldridge III again. Spins out of one tackle. And then he's swallowed up by the next man, which is Jake Kavia and Tayela Latu.
Trey Smith really created that play. He would not allow himself to be blocked. and got out and blew that up. Otherwise, that short side pitch was going to go for some more yards. Instead, a 3rd and 5, not easy for this Air Force offense, but certainly makeable.
Here's Michelle with room. Michelle picks up the first down and then some.
They kind of launched his body into Javion Cole at the end of the run, not knowing that he already had the yardage for the first down, but Air Force seems to have been able to restore some order as far as their schedule offensively.
In plus territory now after the 11-yard gain. Here's Larrier keeping himself, breaking a tackle, cutting back up inside. He's at the 40-yard line, about 4 yards shy of the first down, but the clock becoming an issue at this point as we're under a minute and a half to go. Quickly back to the line of scrimmage.
That's the 3rd quarterback draw they ran. A lot of traffic in there when they do it.
Michelle up the middle. Clock at 1:17. Timeout's been called.
And they have the 3 timeouts, so really what they need to do is find something they like on 3rd down. That play, they were just trying to catch San Jose State off guard and get the ball in Michelle's hands. He's had some success picking his way through the line of scrimmage. No avail there, but timeout is called, and you have a chance to discuss it with Larrier on the sideline.
As we enter week 4 of the college football season. Get a little head start here on Friday night with Petros Papadakis. I'm Dan Helly, and we have 3rd and 2 here for the Air Force Falcons, who would love nothing more than to punch it in and make it a 3-point ball game. Not an easy task tonight against this Spartan defense. Dylan Carson up the middle.
Still no Owen Burke. Instead, Dylan Carson, another running back from deep, gets the first down, and Air Force in their version of the 2-minute offense.
Clock stop under 2 minutes in the first half with a first down, and nowhere to go for Larrier. We do have a flag on the play.
And Larrier needed to throw that ball away. He tried to tuck it, as we see Burke on the sideline still. Larrier tried to tuck that ball.
Offense, number 24, 10-yard penalty, and a made first down.
John Lee Eldridge gets that call on him. Here he is. That's the hold. And just holding on to the arm of Trey Smith, it looks like there.
Pitch outside is Calvert. Calvert very close to picking up the first down. And I think he's about a yard shy.
Quick hitting triple option play. Carson goes down early. Everybody thought he had the ball. And Larrier pops out and pitches it out quickly. Look how fast this happens. Carson down. Larrier pulls that ball as he's being chased by Tongo. Really crisp the way this runs, but man, that ball is in a lot of hands and touched by a lot of people. They don't put it on the ground very much.
No, they don't. So 2nd and 9, the penalty set them back. So just past the original line of scrimmage. 49 seconds to go here in the first half at SEFQ Stadium.
One of the things they were able to do, you saw their defense was really starting to struggle, and they were really getting hurt. Air Force by Kyrie Robinson, being able to hold the ball till the end of the half, be able to get into the locker room, talk to your young players on defense. Even if this doesn't end up in a touchdown and you only get a field goal attempt, still they restored some order offensively for themselves with this drive.
And they do get the ball back first in the second half. Larrier back to throw over the middle, complete to the 10-yard line. That's Jared Rosnos.
Well, when they throw, they've been efficient. And that time, just a straight drop back by Larrier. Rosnos with a very good catch.
22-yard gain for Rosnos. Here's Larrier, fakes the pitch, met in the backfield right away. Latu says, you're not going anywhere. 33 seconds to go.
Air Force takes another timeout, and Larrier with the pass just comes out beautifully there. Does not look like an Air Force team throwing the ball there. Pretty efficient in here. Just a really aggressive, strong play by Latu, not slow playing it, attack the quarterback before he can make the pitch. And that forces the timeout call.
You know what we haven't seen tonight? An incomplete pass.
No incomplete pass.
Not a one.
No, Larrier's been perfect, though he hasn't thrown it much.
2 for 2.
And Chevin Cordero's on his way to breaking some records with the way he's thrown.
Cordero has completed 11 passes in 11 attempts. The record is 15 at San Jose State. As Larrier is getting his helmet operated on. 34 seconds. They're looking at 2nd and 12 after that loss of 2. And Reagan Tubbs is filling in for the sick Matthew DePore, who did not make the trip. DePore is their regular kicker, a very good kicker who hasn't missed a field goal or a point after attempt this season. And his substitute, Reagan Tubbs, has been very good. 2nd and 12 here. Larrier keeping it, pitching it. Eldridge the third hurdles to get down to the 4-yard line. Jordan Pollard shoves him out of bounds.
It's a little boring, but in the veer, ball placement is so important, and he runs that triple option. That pitch is a little high for Eldridge, and he had to concentrate to get it. Did a good job of doing that, and then the wild flying move to the goal line. Jordan Pollard pushes him out.
3rd and 2. Is he in? Indeed, he is in. Emmanuel Michel has been an absolute machine on this night, averaging 6 yards per carry. An 88-yard drive. 88 yards, rather, for Michel on 15 carries. And Air Force right back in this thing as Tubbs is out to kick the extra point.
But what a drive to help their defense out. They were able to throw the ball, overcome a couple 3rd and longs. Just really impressed with Zach Larrier. Negative plays don't phase them. They come right back. And Michel has been tough all night. Good running by Eldridge as well. Really impressive. Air Force answering on the road here.
Extra point is good. It's a 12-play, 75-yard drive in just under 3 minutes, which is like fast forward for Air Force.
Yeah, they've been moving pretty quickly in the second quarter. Michel able to kind of shuffle his feet a little bit at the line of scrimmage and then get his pads behind him and take the goal line. Larrier's fired up.
As is Michel. What a game it has been for him tonight. Coming up, it's the State Farm halftime show with Mike Hill and Chris Peterson. They're going to take a look at the Wisconsin-Purdue game, preview Oklahoma-Cincinnati, and chat Coach Prime and Colorado. Huge game coming up for the Buffs. Their toughest test yet, taking on the Ducks.
Conference play. A lot of different things are going to happen. You know, teams really develop. Two really good examples here. One team that's undefeated and one team that is 1-3, already played 4 games. San Jose State, they played USC in week 0, but both of these teams learning their identity this time of year, and when conference play comes, you got to know who you have.
Little pooch kick. Caught at about the 27-yard line by Taniela Latu. Good hands for the linebacker.
Calhoun saying you can't make a fair catch if it bounces.
Actually a valid point.
And now 24 seconds left, 3 timeouts. and real ability to stretch the field, especially with a guy like Chevin Cordero.
Calhoun is beside himself, and I think he has a valid point.
Absolutely.
Cordero working with 25 seconds left from his own 28, and he's content to keep this on the ground with Robinson. We do have a flag down.
Holding. Offense, number 74. 10-yard penalty. Remain first down.
Thought with 3 timeouts, San Jose State might take a couple of shots. Holding called on the center, Anthony Pardue.
I believe Pardue had the legal player downfield call as well.
That was such a tough play, though, for the lineman, right?
Yeah, very tough. And really kind of the difference in this game, or the only thing that slowed down San Jose State's offense in the first half. Now they're just going to take a knee after the penalty.
What a game. What a Friday night in San Jose. The Spartans going to go into the locker room with a 3-point lead. Air Force gets the ball first in the second half after winning the toss and deferring. Coach Calhoun, one thing we know for sure, there is no quit in this Air Force team. This is the tightest game they have had yet. Trying to remain perfect. San Jose State trying to get back on track. Halftime show coming up. Football on FS1, and how about that? 199 rushing yards from Air Force. They still find themselves trailing by 3, Petros. All the touchdowns scored on the ground. Not a surprise when you watch Air Force, but perhaps with Chevin Cordero, his second touchdown run of the year.
Well, they dialed up that zone read, and he did a great job. We've seen a great deal of Emmanuel Michel running the ball with a lot of purpose. And then on the other side, Kyrie Robinson has been even more brilliant running the ball, making people miss and being physical at the point of attack. It's been a lot of fun. Both offenses really doing what they want to do, and both playing, with the exception of a few penalties, very efficient football. Going to be a great second half.
And we have yet to see a ball hit the ground. Both quarterbacks perfect through the air. Cordero, 11 of 11. Larrier, just 2 passes, but he's completed both of them. And when you run the ball as much as Air Force, not expecting the pass, well, it's advantage Air Force certainly here. They do find themselves down by 3. Larrier, the senior, did not throw a pass prior to this season, so this just the 4th start of his career.
He's very much in control of their offense and what they do, and he showed some aggressiveness and a lot of fire in the first half, and that drive to close the gap, pretty impressive for Coach Calhoun's guys, when it looked like for a second their defense was about to buckle.
Air Force will receive the kick here.
Also huge.
As they won the toss and deferred. Both teams certainly having their moments in the first half, but when you play like Air Force does, it is very difficult to come back when you don't throw the ball a whole lot. Coming into the game, they'd only thrown the ball 10 times. 2 attempts, 2 completions tonight. And they have gone 10 games without an opponent scoring more than 21 points. Terrence Shive set to kick off. Dane Kinnaman back deep for Air Force. Fair catch is called for. Ball goes out to the 25-yard line. So we mentioned it in the first half. We have yet to see Owen Burke, who came into the game as the leading rusher. No word on what his situation is, to be exact. He is on the sideline. Seems to be in good spirits. But Emmanuel Michel has been carrying the load after a 3-touchdown, 100-plus yard game last week. He is well on his way to doing the exact same thing this week. 88 yards on the ground with 2 scores. Here's Michel to get things started, picks up 4.
From a 3-point stance in the line of scrimmage right away, twists his body to make it a 4-yard gain, a la the great Brad Roberts of yesteryear. That's Brian Parham on the tackle, but not before exactly what Air Force wants to do. Positive yardage on first down in the run game.
Again up the middle, and again carrying tacklers. There is a flag on the play, picks up 6. He's right at the line of game.
Yeah, there's been a lot of physical grabbing in this game and tackling and body on body, and we've had a few face mask calls. That one pretty obvious. They did not throw the flag.
So it looked like there was a penalty for a moment, but they do pick up the first down. And again, tough running. Michelle now has back-to-back 100-yard games.
Positive yardage without the blown call. Pretty blatant there, but they just keep giving the ball to Michelle, and he keeps churning forward. They're going to eat clock and leave that San Jose State offense on the sideline all over the halftime and watching for quite some time here at the beginning of the half if things keep going like this.
Dylan Carson checking back into the game at fullback. Here's Carson, almost a carbon copy run of a Emmanuel Michel type.
Yeah, and that's the guy who's been going in to spell Emmanuel Michel at that fullback position, or the guy that gets the bulk of the carries between the center and the guard. And if Carson's been that guy, makes you wonder if we're ever going to see Owen Burke in this game, though he's full dressed and looks like he's ready to go. Carson's been pretty efficient, though, as well.
From the 49, here's Carson again. Keeping those feet moving. He's wrapped up by a slew of tacklers, including Brian Parham. Look at Coach Calhoun.
They get into so many different run sets in so many different ways. That time they bring a wide receiver, Cade Harris, right behind the guard and push him as a lead blocker on the dive play. Really interesting stuff. If you love the run.
Well, we know you do.
I'm just saying, for everybody that loves it.
This time keeps it, pitches, Calvert. Gonna high step it out of bounds about 2 yards shy.
You know, that pitch is such an important thing, and Hazik Daniels was really good at pitch placement, and we're watching Larrier do it. I like how decisive he is. He doesn't think about it too much either. Fakes the pitch or makes the pitch, but doesn't make that guy run out there looking at him for too long, creating a third down that they could get.
Third and manageable, 3 to be exact. Carson still in the game, and Carson inside the 40, picking up the first down for the Falcons. And it's interesting when you talk to San Jose State defensive coordinator Derek Odom and head coach Brent Brennan, they say, you know, everybody thinks it's so simple. There are a lot of exotic looks to this triple option. It makes it very difficult.
Well, it doesn't look like D. Dallas is running it. There's Coach Odom. I mean, it is a much more complex thing. They're all spread out. They give the ball to different guys in different positions, and they've really overcome a lot of the rule changes in college football.
A hurdle at the line of scrimmage for Michelle. And they're just kind of doing what Air Force has done for so many years.
Michelle's feeling really confident, and his feet are really under him in this game. Jumps over Adam Karras, the left tackle, to find more positive yardage. He's really in control of his body in this game and showing a lot of confidence.
They came in as the #1 rushing team in the country, did Air Force, at 320 yards per game. Right now they're sitting on 239. 2nd and 6, running it again. And not a whole lot going for Michelle, as this Spartan defense has had their moments. They knew exactly what they were facing here. Trey Jenkins coming in from his safety spot to make that stop.
Yeah, and he made a good stop. He ended the journey for Michelle. Michelle has had so much yards after contact around the line of scrimmage. That time runs into Trey Jenkins from Stockton, California, a graduate guy deeply committed to this Spartans program.
Oldham told us his safeties, Trey Jenkins and Chase Williams, can erase mistakes. They had to come up big tonight. Third down here. And it's going to be close. Let's see where they spot the ball.
I think they're in 4-down territory regardless.
I think you're right.
Good job kind of bowing up if you're the Spartans, but I think he got it. Yeah, he got it.
Look at Emmanuel Michelle, the senior from Lawrenceville, Georgia. Came in averaging a solid 4.5 yards per carry.
Oh, that's solid, especially when you come out of your stance and you're in a 3-point stance running the ball. That is
and it's always between the tackles. Half the time it's between the guards.
not a lot of people get the ball out of a 3-point stance, especially that consistently, and that's just part of the beauty of this Air Force offense. They are going to review this, so it's close enough to where they're going to make a review. Brett Brennan, an excitable guy trying to get his guys going.
Taking
Yeah, he kind of turned
look at
sideways there at the end. It looked like he was going to come through there straight, but he got turned sideways by Parham, which made it a little bit of a closer play.
Parham from Long Beach Poly, the
home of the Jackrabbits.
There you go.
Their Jackrabbit style. That's an easy.
Yeah, I know. I like to throw you softballs.
Yeah, you have to, because some of these, especially for Air Force, these guys, you know, they recruit globally and find guys from all over the country.
What's your favorite major for an Air Force player?
My favorite is Owen Burke. He's not playing a lot, but he's got a major. All right, they're going to keep the first down. But Owen Burke's major in aeronautical engineering is one thing. His minor in nuclear weapons and tactics is a whole other.
You don't find that at USC or Tennessee, do you?
It was not available, no.
Fresh set of downs from the 29. Carson in at fullback for Air Force. He gets the ball down to the 25-yard line.
You know, it's that little subtle move at the line of scrimmage. It doesn't look like much, but just moving over 1 or 2 gaps that these fullbacks are able to do, and that's kind of how they wriggle forward and create these positive downs. You know, 2nd and 6 is really all they're looking for. And get another 4 yards, and then it's 3rd and 2, and it's almost like
automatic.
You're not going to be able to stop.
Right.
All the time, the clock ticks.
Here's Carson again. He has a crease. Carson dragging tacklers down to the 10-yard line. And this was his best run of the game.
Yeah, the sophomore from Marysville, Washington is having a night and really covering that ball, making sure that Trey Jenkins can't rip it out as he gets down the field. You see him get 2 hands on the football, churning those legs. Dylan Carson comes out.
Parham hanging on for dear life. That was a 14-yard run. Michelle back into the game with that another little hurdle move at the line of scrimmage. Picks up 1, maybe 2.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of that now. It's starting to make me a little uncomfortable because when you jump around the line of scrimmage, I mean, when you jump anywhere, you lose most all of your leverage, and you become a big target for guys just like that. And that's a tough situation, but Michelle's running with a lot of confidence, and he looks pretty doing it.
Coming up on an 8-minute drive for the Falcons. Audible from Larier. Giving it to Michelle. And he's stacked up at the 6-yard line. You know, head coach Troy Calhoun said, I wish we could make it look pretty. We just can't. But it's worked out all right for us.
Well, you know, beauty is in the eye of the beholder as well. But I guess by most all football standards, this is not what you would call an exotically diverse offensive team in the pass game. But in the run game, they're about as complicated and fun to watch as anybody that's ever done it.
Pitch outside, it's Eldridge to third, high stepping into the end zone. Air Force with another time-eating drive, and they hit pay dirt once again.
Oh, and the bird loves it. They just absolutely pummel the inside, the A gaps and the B gaps, punching and punching like Rocky hitting a side of beef, and then they hit you with the perimeter, a nice fake, great read by Larrier, still in control, and a perfect pitch to Eldridge, who takes it in pretty easily.
Reagan Tubbs with the extra point, and Air Force up 24-20, the fourth lead change of the game here tonight in San Jose. Folks, don't go anywhere. We got a good one here. Calhoun, there's no transfer portal. There's no NIL. There's just winning football games, running the triple option.
Can't bring anybody in early, can't redshirt anybody. Right down the road from Colorado, a whole different way to do college football.
Boulder to Colorado Springs ain't far, but couldn't be more different. Right now, Air Force on top. San Jose State tonight, 3 touchdowns.
And look at that punt was really because they've not been stopped. The half ran out on them, but that second drive, the punt was the illegal man downfield that stalled the drive. Otherwise, Coach Brennan's team's been perfect offensively in this game, but that Air Force run game is hurting them. And you see what Air Force is doing as far as stopping the run tonight. They've not been able to do it because of the running of Kyrie Robinson and this Spartans front.
Cordero fakes the handoff to Conley, but he gets chased into the backfield, has to get rid of it. He's kind of throwing it away. Mazzotti was in the area. Yeah, you talk about the run game for Air Force. They've racked up 274 yards. That the first incompletion of the game for Cordero, now 11 of 12.
Well, it finally happened. The first drive of the second half for the Spartans.
Ooh, looked like there was definitely holding there. I don't know if it got called.
Well, Coach Brennan ripped off his headset and went straight for the official.
Gaylord was all over him.
Cordero, 2 incomplete passes in a row, kind of leaning his body across. Malachi Miller does not draw the flag. Flag stayed in the pocket a little bit here in the second half.
Let him play, Petros. Let him play. 3rd and 10. Cordero pressured up the middle. Eludes the rush, going to tuck it and run. Has to get to the 35, unable to do so. So 4th down coming up after the 9-yard gain.
You see some of his creativity running the ball. Nice job by Jonathan Youngblood getting to him. It's Bo Richter who originally really pressures him on that dog that they ran at the line of scrimmage. Cordero has to make too wide of a cut to be able to get the first down. Big stop.
Where's punt to Kinnaman. Fair caught at the 30-yard line. Still a 4-point game. Just under 5.5 to go here in the 3rd. Back in San Jose after this.
True freshman looking really mature. Kind of like Zach Larrier, a senior, but he never played a lot of quarterback until this year.
Flags flying everywhere.
We got back. We got back. We got back.
A lot of screaming back and forth and a lot of finger pointing.
Yeah, we got back can be heard over and over.
Offside in the neutral zone causing reaction. Defense, number 6. 5-yard penalty and remain first down.
They didn't get back.
They did
Brian
not.
Parham mugged up into that hole. And Ethan Jackman made sure to slap his arm to show that he was still in the neutral zone. And that helps out Air Force a great deal. They didn't even have to run a play and fight all the way through the A gap and scratch and claw for the first 5 yards.
Michelle goes for 3, so 276 yards now on the ground for Air Force. They could eat up the rest of the time in this quarter on this drive.
Just murder yourself with a 3-and-out if you're San Jose State. I mean, here in the third quarter, you come out, you have to kick them the ball. Mike Deason just calling this very patiently, very meticulously. That 3-and-out can really expose you. You don't have the ball for a whole quarter, basically.
And here's Michelle again. It was Tago who was the first man there.
And it stands to reason that the longer your defense is out there, the less they're going to be able to make decisive tackles on guys like Zach Larrier, Emmanuel Michel, and John Lee Eldridge. And we've seen a lot from Dylan Carson on each one of these drives, it seems.
Eldridge the third, and Michelle in the backfield right now. Michelle with 130 yards on the ground, make that 132. Last week he had 28 carries against Utah State. That was a career high. 26 so far tonight for $134.
Well, some people say the ball's not heavy. He can carry it. But that's a high volume from a guy that looks like he is up for it. His uniform looks a little beat up, but Michel himself looks ready to rock and roll.
He's not even breathing out of his mouth.
No, these guys, well, you know, they're used to that altitude at Colorado Springs.
Valid point. Michel being spilled by Dylan Carson, who's had a nice game himself. This one pitched outside to Eldridge the third, inside the 40-yard line before he's taken down by Tago.
It just feels like every time Derek Odom's defense is ready to stop things in the A-gap, that is when Larrier is able to pull that ball and do some damage on the edge. And he's had a lot of success with the pitch game, getting it all the way out to the third option of the triple option. John Lee Eldridge, who's been great on the perimeter tonight.
That was a 15-yard game for Eldridge.
Gashing him.
Eating up as much time as they can. Play clock winding down. Carson up the middle. A couple of defenders cracking heads as Jordan Cobbs makes the tackle for San Jose State.
Such a frustrating thing if you're a San Jose State defensive or offensive player. You just have to sit there and take the paper cuts, and it makes every play that you have on offense, every third down, that much more important to try to stay on the field, because the flip side is these guys just squeezing you to death like a python.
Paper cuts are so appropriate. That's what it is. 1 4-yard run, 1 6-yard run, 1 pitch outside to Calvert. Great running by Aiden Calvert, the junior from Modern Day High School in Southern California. Picks up 14 yards and a first down for Air Force.
Look at how they have 3 guys engaged blocking out on the edge. How do they do that? Everybody is on a body on the edge and the perimeter. That is so hard with everybody running out to the sideline, and yet Air Force, no cut blocks allowed anymore out there, still able to really block people on the perimeter. Wow, impressive.
First down from the 18. Michel back in the ball game. Gets the carry down to the 13-yard line. And Air Force has now surpassed their season average on the ground. They have 327 yards.
And this isn't Robert Morris or Sam Houston. I mean, this looks like they were able to run the ball against Utah State, and you see the fatigue from the San Jose State defense. They have been out there too long, the entire third quarter, basically.
Second and 5, pitch to Calvert. Puts his head down and looks like he is very close to picking up the first down. I think he might have it.
I mean, they all fall in a pile, and they very rarely fall backwards. They are just a forward attacking football team.
Downhill, as they say.
Absolutely, but they get out to the perimeter pretty well. They bubble their guys out to the perimeter, but that downhill game with the A-gaps and the fullbacks between the center and the guard, that's exactly what makes it all go, Dan. Exactly right.
3rd and 1 with 15 seconds to go here in the third. Giving it to Michel. Michel dives ahead, wiggles his way for the first down. San Jose has only had the ball for 3 plays and 50 seconds in the third quarter. 3 plays and 50 seconds. This is what Air Force does. Trying to punch it in one more time. We're back in the fourth to see if they can do it. Well, ties a career high with 28 carries for 141 yards, a couple of touchdowns. Kyrie Robinson doing it the totally opposite type of way. 5 carries, a couple of touchdowns, averaging 14 yards per carry, but he hasn't been out there in the third quarter. 50 seconds total trying to stay warm on the bike, Petros.
Yeah, and the whole offense should be doing that, and the whole defense has got to get in an ice bath. And then that's what happens when you go 3 and out against an Air Force team that knows how to take the air out of the football.
That's exactly what Troy Calhoun's troops are doing here inside the 10-yard line as we begin the fourth quarter. Larrier keeping it himself to the 5. Chase Williams, one of 3 Spartans there.
One thing I like about what Larrier does, and a nice job by Chase Williams getting him down on the ground, is he doesn't force plays. He doesn't force a pitch out there. He doesn't reverse his field. He takes what the offense is giving him, and he gets down. He could have made an errant pitch there, something like that. He eats the ball and lives to second down.
Larrier taking his time, looking over to the sideline, under 10 seconds to go on the play clock. Michel keeping those legs churning down to just inside the 2. And this is the 4th drive of 10 plays or more for Air Force in this game.
It has been an absolute bludgeoning. The third quarter was a nightmare for Brent Brennan to watch happen.
Brennan, in between quarters, imploring his defense, very animated to try to stop them from scoring here. 3rd and goal. Michel stopped at the 1.
Big play.
Lavulo, the first man to meet him in the hole, as was Tago.
Yeah, and he really kind of got turned over and run down the line of scrimmage as opposed to perpendicular to the goal line. And 4th and goal.
Just a massive play for this San Jose State defense. Hold him here. You have 99 yards to march down and potentially score, but you got to stop this 4th down. Michel up and over. And in for the touchdown. Air Force, just as you said, Petros, taking the air out of the ball.
What a demoralizing situation for the Spartans. They are all ready to dig in, and Air Force, you think, is going to do something to the perimeter. They don't. They give it to Michel. He goes up and over right before Matthew Tago can get a hit on him. And we talked about his ability to hurdle at the line of scrimmage. Very advantageous there. And Air Force taking a 2-score lead.
Tubbs, perfect on the night. Air Force has scored 21 straight points. They were down 20-10, now up by 11. 20 yards, more than 7.5 minutes with Emmanuel Michel's 3rd touchdown of the game. How about this? In his last 2 games, P, Michel has scored 38 points all by himself. 6 touchdowns, 1 2-point conversion.
Yeah, he's been a force, but it's been the whole offense. Larrier's understanding of when to give, how they call it. The offensive line shooting out at the line of scrimmage, and so much frustration from Chevin Cordero, who's been great tonight, but you just can't afford to go 3 and out against this Air Force team. You end up staring at a bit of a lead that they have.
There's Jabari Bates, kind of bobbles it for a minute. Solid return out to the 30, but we do have flags flying. Everybody's falling over everybody trying to get up.
Well, a lot of frustration on the Spartan side when you don't have the ball for most of a quarter and into the fourth. That's tough.
So down by 11 as we wait to find out what the penalty was. Brent Brennan's troops.
Return team number 24, 10-yard penalty. First down, San Jose State.
All right, 11-point deficit. San Jose State getting the ball back when we come back. If anybody can do it, Chevin Cordero can do it. Dominant in this half of football. Have you ever seen anything like this?
No, not where you hold the ball for more than a quarter. You know, that's an amazing stat, and that makes this drive obviously so big for Chevin Cordero. They've got to find something positive to rest their defense and to score points, a touchdown preferably.
Cordero dumping it off, and this is going to help their cause just a little bit. Robinson.
Get the ball in the hands of these guys. Standing around on the sideline of a football game is a very difficult thing. Just going in for halftime, you know, it makes you very cold, and a nice job by Robinson kind of setting up the screen and finding positive yardage.
Second down and short coming up. Here's Robinson on the ground, bouncing it to the outside with some room. The stiff arm on Gaylord picks up the first down and plenty more as he gets out of bounds.
Yeah, they're thinking, my gosh, how could we have gone 3 and out? You know, there's a lot of good things going offensively. He gets away from Mock and finds good positive yardage away from Trey Taylor as well, who just doesn't have the speed to get him on the edge. Just been so cold on the sideline for so long. San Jose State starting to warm up a little bit. They got the hot plate out there.
Another complete pass, this one to about the 36-yard line. Malachi Miller hauling it in.
Yeah, they brought an extra guy, but Cordero not pressured much at all in this game. He's been able to sit back there and throw the ball with accuracy. Just not a lot of opportunities. They pick up the blitz very well. Kyrie Robinson picks up Alec Mock, and they can get the crossing route completed to Miller.
Cordero just passed Andy Dalton for 5th all-time in the Mountain West Conference all-time passing list. The last thing he's thinking about in this moment, but what a career it has been. Oh, nearly picked off, trying to zip it in there. Jaden Goodwin got a hand on it. Young blood there as well.
Oh, that would have been an absolute nightmare for SJSU, because you don't want to go walking back to that sideline. He really threw a fastball, probably a little bit ill-advised, and that ball popped up. Jaden Goodwin was in a good position, and then Jonathan Youngblood in a good position to make that pick, but no one could find him.
Huge 3rd and 4 here for the Spartans. Cordero pressured, buying some time, going to keep it himself, trying to wiggle his way past the 41-yard line. Does not look like he got there. Aiden Swartz holding on for dear life to prevent Cordero from picking up the first down.
Yeah, he really tried to roll and get that first down. They obviously have got to go for it here. They can't give the ball back to Air Force. He's very comfortable scrambling and knows where he is on the field, but a good job rallying to the football to deny him the first down by Air Force. Get a chance to get him off the field here. Big 4th down again.
Robinson in the backfield on 4th and 1. Here's Robinson, little stutter step at the line, and he's not gonna get it. What a play. Jonathan Youngblood has been such a monster, such a great leader for this defense, finally starting as a senior, and gets a huge 4th down stop for Air Force. The defense stepping up when the Falcons needed it the most here in San Jose. Air Force trying to make it 9 in a row dating back to last year, the 5th longest active win streak in the country. And this is when San Jose State, if they're trying to stay in this game with Troy Calhoun's troops, they need to stop. Brent Brennan knows it. There's only been one 3 and out this game. They need one right here. Michel spinning his way. He was stopped at the line of scrimmage. Spins his way for an extra 3 yards before Quincy Laquio finally drags him down. So Air Force now has 343 yards on the ground. It's the most rushing yards given up by a San Jose State team in 19 years.
It's an amazing display of a running attack here from what Coach Calhoun told us was a very young team.
3rd and manageable going to be coming up. John Lee Eldridge picks up a couple. Michael Dansby on the stop for San Jose State.
Some perspective here. Air Force has had 6 drives so far. 5 have been for 10-plus plays. Only 1 was a 3 and out. And they punish you on the perimeter like they punish you on the inside. Eldridge finishing that run with physicality.
Michel in the backfield. Eldridge in motion. 3rd and 3. Michel wrapped up. That's going to bring up a big 4th down. San Jose not in the clear yet.
2 plays in a row by Quincy Laquio, number 91 from Hawaii, knifing in there with a good armbar move and making the play on Caleb Holcomb, the right tackle. He made the play on 1st down.
Latu in there as well, aiding Laquio. So 4th and 4 from the 45. There he is, pitches outside. Eldridge the 3rd trying to find the corner, spins inside, hurdles a defender, picks up the 1st down, and he's still going. John Lee Eldridge the 3rd. A 34-yard score. What a run.
Not a lot of emotion from Troy Calhoun, but certainly a lot from this Air Force offense. First of all, they've really exploited the perimeter when they wanted the triple option, a fake to Michel. He gets it to Eldridge quickly, and then you wonder if Trey Jenkins is going to make the play at the sticks. He can't, and Eldridge just showing the desire for the goal line and rambling for the 1st down. Great feet on the edge, and then the hurdle. This guy really playing great. Him and Michel on the inside and Eldridge on the edge have just been an insurmountable rushing attack. One of the best I've ever seen in this beautiful evening at San Jose. Wow, what a performance.
You sound so calm. That was one of the best runs I have ever seen.
Pretty good.
Tiptoeing the sideline, hurdling guys, spinning his way for a 34-yard touchdown run, over 100 yards on the night. John Lee Eldridge the 3rd, Petros. Salute!
I've known for my measured approach, but that one got me excited too.
Quick drive for Air Force tonight, but they have scored 28 straight points, and one of the greatest runs that I have ever seen. John Lee Eldridge III on 4th down scampers up the sideline, jumping, spinning, tiptoeing his way into the end zone. And there are 380 rushing yards in the box score for Air Force. A couple of 100-yard running backs And this is San Jose State trying to make something happen. Bates out past the 15-yard line. We have another flag down. Beard in on the tackle for Air Force. So close, so tight, back and forth, 4 lead changes. And then Air Force just put their foot down, and the throttle is wide open.
10-yard penalty, first down.
What a great day of college football.
Going to be exciting. This one has been just eye-opening. Just the way Air Force came out in the second half and just has choked San Jose State down. A lot of those rushing yards that we're celebrating are on this offense because they've had an inability to stay on the field.
Cordero from his own end zone. Pressure coming, just has to get rid of it. Aiden Schwartz with the pressure for Air Force from Sylvania, Ohio.
Just can't afford to have empty drives against these guys. The Air Force defense, they're able to do enough and get you off the field and hand you right back into the meat grinder. And that's where San Jose State's been all night, staring at an 18-point deficit with this great explosive offense. Can they overcome it?
Now they need to score quickly. 2nd and 10 here. Cordero from his own end zone again, completing it to Nick Nash. But you got to bite off a little more than that. 3rd down coming up. Cordero, remember, 11 of 11 in the first half. Now just 3 for 7 here in the second, as that one goes for all of a yard. 3rd and 9. A crucial 3rd and 9. A must-have 3rd and 9 for the Spartans. They're 1 for 4 on 3rd down tonight. Air Force rushing 3. Cordero with time and down to the 40-yard line. Wasn't the prettiest looking pass, but it was certainly effective as Charles Ross hauls it in. Perhaps that was the 31-yard gain the Spartans needed to get things going here.
Yeah, we had a long pass to Dominic Mazzotti in the first half. Feels like a long time ago. Cordero able to drop back there, protected well, and steps in and throws, and something positive for the Spartans now.
Cordero pressured again, throwing on the run. Heck of a catch made by Nash, but he was out of bounds.
Really athletic catch by a very athletic guy. Nice bull rush by the outside linebacker, Bo Richter. Really put a lot of pressure on Cordero there. That is really close.
Wow.
The right foot with the hands.
I don't know if he had control before that foot came up.
They wouldn't be able to overturn it if they looked at it. Just too close. But they're going to look.
You spoke so soon.
Why do I say these things?
Darn it, Petros.
And this maybe hurts San Jose a little bit, you know, just momentum-wise.
In a little bit of a rhythm, yeah.
They've been standing and watching for too long. Yeah, he's got hands on the ball.
But does he have it controlled? It's on the fingertips.
If they called it a catch on the field, I think they would have made it a catch here after looking at it. But they called it incomplete on the field. That's probably going to have to stand. But you'll be shocked to know that I've been wrong before.
Not
Even
possible.
when Blandino or Pereira are on my side, I've still been betrayed by the officials.
I don't believe it. I don't know that I've seen it firsthand. Look at that footwork, though, on the sideline by Nash. Just the awareness to know exactly where he is.
You could freeze that there and call that a catch. I mean, it's very close, but that's a heck of a shot. And you could call that a catch unless you say that, you know, it's only one hand that he had on. The other hand was kind of awkward on the ball until maybe a split second later. But
Right foot down, inbounds.
Dragging the foot, you know.
Yeah, NFL style.
Great effort.
But you're right, he doesn't have it. It's on his. Yeah, I'd be shocked if
I could see this going either way. I'm starting to really
now
waver.
you're flipping on me.
Yeah, I've become a real Waffle Houser.
My goodness, just riding the fence.
I don't know what to do. That's really close.
Well, they're taking a Long time to look at it. Difficult decision here. Bill Stimmel is the replay official. Christian Watson, our head referee tonight. Boy, how the tides changed in the second half here. There were 4 lead changes. Air Force scores 28 straight points. And as you look at Air Force head coach Troy Calhoun, I believe he is being informed now that they are going to say that's a catch.
Yeah, I think it was that shot that we had that kind of showed the above angle.
As a further review, the receiver got his right foot in, maintained possession, Air Force to catch.
Well, I'm glad I didn't take a stand.
Well, they told me it wasn't going to be a catch until you started waffling.
And Nash had 3 touchdowns against USC in week 0 in the season opener. He's pretty impressive with his body control, and that's about as precise of a sideline catch you can get at the college level.
An incredible catch by Nick Nash from Irvine, California. San Jose State now has run 13 plays in the entire second half, swinging it outside to Conley. And who knows, you find the end zone here, you get an onside kick.
Oh, we're still in
stop.
If you're San Jose State, that's what you're thinking. We're still in this game.
100%.
You got that guy, Chevin Cordero. He's starting to get a little bit of a rhythm after being cold and standing there for the entire halftime and most of the third quarter. And here now you have an opportunity.
Well, you also have weapons on the outside. Nice spin move. Pressure coming. He does get it off to Nash. But that was a great spin move by Bo Richter to get the pressure.
Yeah, Bo Richter has been really impressive. He's grading out brilliantly. Where's the number 8 outside linebacker? There's the spin, an inside spin there. And he's starting to put a lot of pressure on Chevin Cordero on this drive because it's clear San Jose State wants to drop back and throw the football because of the deficit in the points.
2nd and 6, 5.5 to go. Cordero firing and nearly picked off by Jamari Bellamy.
Now, one thing that's a little bit different about this Air Force defense this year that I notice is just the length on the perimeter. Gaylord is 6'4", 200 pounds. Jamari Bellamy, 6'2", 185. Really long corners that can make it a little bit harder with your throwing windows.
Yeah, normally when you have receivers that are 6'3", 6'1", and 6'4", you have a size advantage, but not necessarily the case with these corners.
They're longer than normal.
Rush coming in, pocket collapsing on Cordero. He's picked off. It's Trey Taylor trying to go the distance. Cordero coming in to run him out of bounds, and that could be the nail in the coffin. Pressure coming, pocket collapsing, and Cordero throwing an interception for just the 2nd time this season. A 52-yard return by Trey Taylor. The Falcons flying high in San Jose.
At home, here's the pick, and it's the 2 DNs. Well, the DN and the outside linebacker, Bo Richter and PJ Ramsey, bull rushing into Chevin Cordero, and the contact with his own guy leads to the pass popping up in the air, snatched out of the air by Trey Taylor.
Keeping it on the ground. No surprise here with Dylan Carson. And that was just the 2nd interception of the season for Cordero. Cordero went 117 throws.
Yeah.
When he finally threw one last week. It was costly, proved to be a pick 6 in the 3rd quarter.
Similar last year, too. Very efficient with the ball, just does not throw a lot of picks. And that one was because of some friendly fire.
Eating up as much clock as they can. Keeping it on the ground to Dylan Carson. I'll tell you, I've been very impressed with the Air Force quarterback, Zach Larrier. He's only thrown the ball a couple of times tonight, completed both passes, but he's so polished for a guy who was playing a little tailback last year, had never thrown a pass in a game before this year.
Very much in control of the offense. The pitch game, the triple option pitch game, making decisions, running the ball, getting these guys in and out of the huddle. He's been very impressive. Taking plenty of time at the line of scrimmage, and they have the discipline up there to do it. Just an incredibly disciplined, assignment-oriented offense.
Going to call a timeout here on 3rd and 7. And when you are Troy Calhoun and you're looking at this tape, there's so much to like. I'm sure, knowing him a little bit, he'll probably pick out a few things that went wrong. But
well, they were worried about San Jose State's talent, but when you're able to get your run game going like this, it's very difficult to be taken advantage of on the other side like that. We've seen great stuff from Michelle, Dylan Carson, the brilliant run by John Lee Eldridge III that really showed how tired that San Jose State defense is getting. And Eldridge just going wild on the perimeter. You look at the numbers, and about as impressive of a second half that I've seen from an Air Force football team running the ball and trying to control a very talented quarterback. I mean, that's about as impressive as I've ever seen.
9 of 14 on 3rd downs. Make that 10 of 15 as Dylan Carson pounds his way inside the 5-yard line as we are now under 4 minutes to go. So you're talking about an Air Force team that came in averaging 320 yards per. They're at 400 yards almost tonight.
Yeah, and it's just been a real bloodletting for the Spartans, and not much you can do about it. And I mean, they're going to look at the tape offensively. I mean, they were barely on the field in the second half. They just got absolutely eaten up by this Air Force attack, and it has been impressive.
Keeping it on the ground again, and this time it's down to the 1-yard line. That's Jet Harris.
That's only his 3rd carry of the year. It's been Owen Burke and Emmanuel Michelle before that. Tonight it's been Michelle and Dylan Carson, especially in that fullback position. Jet Harris out of Tennessee.
If your name is Jet, are you required to go to the Air Force Academy?
Yeah, or return punts.
Jet Harris into the end zone for another Air Force touchdown. They have now scored on their last 5 possessions. And the young man from Dobbins-Bennett High School in East Tennessee into the end zone for the Falcons.
And the quicksand just took the Spartans down, didn't it? They just could not get back on the field or sustain any drives in the second half enough to keep their fatigued defense on the sideline. What a bludgeoning.
Extra point is good. Jet Harris, the 6th ball carrier of the night, diving into the end zone. And how about Michelle? That's my guy. Incredible second half performance from Zach Larrier and his Air Force Falcons. They're spreading the love. Jet Harris, the senior from Gray, Tennessee, just scored that last touchdown. Emmanuel Michelle has had a slew of touchdowns, 3 to be exact, for the 2nd game in a row. John Lee Eldridge III with one of the best runs I've seen in a long, long time, maybe ever. And this...
It was the hurdle that did it for you, wasn't it?
It was all of it. It was the hurdle, it was the spin, it was staying in bounds, it was the awareness. I mean, just the overall athleticism and body control, Petros. It was unbelievable.
We've seen a lot of that from the Air Force offense all night, and just a lack of mistakes. Really well run by Larrier.
Bates, a little friendly fire. And here comes another flag. This is the 4th consecutive kickoff, I believe, with a flag.
2 holding penalties the last couple.
So this game for both teams, obviously very important. For San Jose State,
Receiving team number 27, 10-yard penalty. First down, San Jose State.
they came into this game 1-3. Obviously had a very difficult schedule, having played USC and Oregon State, but they're going into a bye week. So now they're going into the bye at 1-4.
Yeah, and there's a lot to look at, but what can you really take from this? You're not going to play another team that looks like Air Force. You're not going to.
That's true.
And they were feeling, so much better about themselves. They led the game 20-10 with under a minute to play in the second quarter, and then kaboom! Air Force stepped in the room.
Cordero to Quali Conley. Conley out past the 30-yard line. But listen, there's a lot of talent on this San Jose State team.
They have they have a talented quarterback. They have a talented offense. They've had a rough schedule. They really would have loved to have gotten a win last week in a game they kind of controlled out in Ohio, and then you come back, you're on a short week, and your defensive coordinator, Odom, has got to prepare for this Air Force offense. And Coach Brennan knew it was a tall order, and just some bad luck in the second half kept them off the field, and good Air Force defense, I guess.
Here's Conley, who's wrapped up right after making the catch by Zach Juffel.
But it just makes it so critical that you make catches, find a way to stay on the field, because if you're not stopping their run, they're not coming off the field.
Dominic Mazzotti with another good catch. And if you're Air Force, you have a couple of home games coming up with San Diego State and Wyoming, and you're knocking on the door of the top 25.
Well, right now they are, and then, I mean, you talked to Troy Calhoun over the summer or the other day, and you would not know it.
He's very the sky is falling.
Yeah, very concerned about the youth on the team and the lack of experience, but these guys seem to be in the mood for the feud.
Here's Cordero trying to buy some time. He's going to tuck it and then run out of bounds, and it really is amazing.
Smiling, look at that.
You don't see that very often. But it is amazing what he's done in 17 seasons there, right? With the entrance requirements, the athletes are generally undersized, under tremendous academic stress, taking between 18 and 21 semester hours. Students have to give up their phones when they get. Can you imagine a student giving up their phone? Petros, I have 2 teenagers.
From my cold, dead hand.
Nobody's taking their phone.
Yeah, these guys are amazing and impressive, and the consistency from the program is great.
A strike thrown by Cordero to Skylar Loving-Black. Remember, playing without Sam Olsen, their best pass-catching tight end. Mazzotti's done a nice job tonight. That's the first catch of the game for Loving-Black.
He has, and I really think the Air Force rush, the pass rush, helped them in the second half, now that we see Cordero getting it going a little.
Take another shot. And trying to keep his feet in bounds was Nash, but this time he wasn't able to do the toe drag swag.
I'm not willing to say that unless I look at it close enough. All right, he is out. Okay. I mean, after the last one.
True. You're a big waffler.
A lot of skill from Nash on the sidelines as he works it out with Coach.
Another quick pass to the right side. Conley puts his head down. Corey Collins makes the stop as we are now at 36 seconds and counting. Third down and short coming up. Gonna pick up the first down. Get down to about the 12-yard line. Conley with another catch.
Just an amazing time of possession game. And it shows you how Air Force has to and how they go about winning football games.
30 seconds.
San Jose State calls the timeout, so Air Force is going to move to 4-0. And as I mentioned, a couple of home games coming up. Not an easy place to play at that altitude. Kind of an interesting story during the week. Trey Jenkins, the talented safety for San Jose State. Really smart kid in high school, was recruited by all the academies, went to Colorado Springs to visit. Said they almost left him when he was doing his tour because he kept getting a bloody nose because of the altitude, so he had to go to the bathroom and get some Kleenex, and came back and told his parents, he goes, you know what, this is not for me.
It's a bye week for San Jose. They got to go to the blue. Get a bloody nose there too.
Yeah, that is true.
New Mexico. They can still really recover their season, and they still have a lot of talent, and Coach Brennan, he'll keep them together and not discouraged.
Cordero into the end zone and over the head and hands of Mazzotti. Yeah, there's no doubt. Coach Brennan has done such a great job there. Couple of bowl games, both in the last 3 years. Came into this one 1-1 against Air Force. Going to fall to 1-2, but just such a bright demeanor, very cheerful every time you talk to him. Really great leader there since coming over from Oregon State. And that one broken up and almost picked off. That was Zach Juckle getting a hand on it.
You know, it was 2020 when Air Force came to play San Jose State after all the COVID delays. And Air Force was beaten by San Jose State, the Nick Starkel team under Coach Brennan. Same coordinators and all that. And that really kind of springboarded their Mountain West Championship year in 2020. They ended up beating Boise in the Mountain West Championship game. But not the case tonight, as it's all smiles from Coach Calhoun. Loves what he saw from his team.
Showed a lot of gumption coming out after halftime to do what they did. Cordero looking to the side of the end zone. That one broken up by Corey Collins. Nice play by the senior from Swanee, Georgia.
San Jose State trying to get a touchdown, trying to get some positive feelings after just such a rough second half, mostly standing on a sideline watching Air Force meat grind their defense. And now they're just trying to get something for this offense going out with a touchdown to feel good, but last chance here.
Fourth down for Chevin Cordero in the San Jose State offense. And we have a timeout.
They can still get a first down, but there's only 9 seconds left.
So we've talked about what Air Force has on tap. A couple of home games against the Aztecs and the Cowboys. Then they're on the road at Navy.
I mean, those are all winnable football games. I mean,
you're talking about Air Force running the schedule already?
I mean, I'm not talking about anything. I'm just saying, listening to what Coach Calhoun says about his team and then watching them play are almost two completely opposite team things. These guys are purposeful, and the bird is dancing all night and feeling pretty good in San Jose.
You know what I think one of the more impressive things to me about what Air Force does is a lot of these guys like Larrier and Youngblood and Ramsey on defense, they're unicorns because they don't play a whole lot their first few years. Then all of a sudden, their last year, their senior year, they're thrust into starting roles. The academies are still a place where you can develop guys.
Yeah, great developmental program, no doubt.
Cordero into the end zone and almost picked off. And that should do it. A frustrating outing when things started so well for San Jose State. Scoring on their first drive of the game, Chevin Cordero, one of the more decorated quarterbacks in college football, trying to find his leading receiver, Nick Nash, just to get some points on the board and feel good about something tonight.
Hard to feel good when you're not on the field, and that's really been the crux of it tonight. Just an inability to get Air Force's offense stopped.
Had him almost doubled up in time of possession. 39 minutes to 20. What an incredible second half performance from Air Force. And we talked earlier about them holding them 21 points or less when they had 20 in the first half, and now 11 straight games holding an opponent to 21 or fewer points. Troy Calhoun and his guys from Air Force soar into San Jose State and get a big win to improve to 4-0. A reminder that tomorrow on Fox, the Big Noon Kickoff crew gets it started live from Cincinnati at 10 Eastern. Then it's the Sooners and Bearcats tomorrow at noon Eastern on Fox. It was all Air Force tonight. The Falcons coming in and winning 45-20 for Petros Papadakis, Joe Williams, and our entire crew. Thanks so much for watching. And what a great day of football it's going to be on Saturday. Enjoy it, everybody. We'll see you on FS1.